Original approach to voice casting continued with the villainous tiger, Shere Khan.
Extraordinary performance.
We wanted a sinister type character, a menace, to build our story and avoid getting in trouble with him.
They were thinking of a kind of a Jack Palance type, a straight, evil character who was going to kill this kid, and maybe enjoy him for dinner. Ken Anderson made one drawing that he was thinking of a Basil Rathbone, kind of a supercilious, above it all, tiger.
How interesting.
So I made these drawings of the tiger with that attitude, supercilious, so confident of his power, so confident of his ability that he didn't need to rant and roar. And showed them to Walt the next day, and he said, "Hey, that's it." He said, "I know who that is. That's George Sanders." He said, "Well, he's a friend of mine. He'll do it."
Who better than George Sanders, who was the master of urbane, suave, subtle villainy on screen?
Let me show you how it works. I can't be bothered with that. I have no time for that sort of nonsense. Perhaps.
He grabs him by the throat and then scratches him with his claw up his nose, up his nostril, and it's just terrible, but he's being so terribly polite and sympathetic.
The voice of Kaa was provided by veteran Disney voice actor Sterling Holloway, who had played Mr. Stork in Dumbo.
Which one of you ladies is expecting?
The Cheshire Cat in Alice in Wonderland.
If you'd really like to know, he went not quite.
And the beloved Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, yes, I'm rumbly in my tumbly. Walt came to me, and he said, with such a stickler for voices, he said, when you finished what you're doing today on Winnie the Pooh, he said, fiddle around and see what you can do with a snake. He said, I can't get the right voice. So I thought, wouldn't it be funny to have a snake with an aching back, because it would be such a long ache.
This is going to slow down my slithering.
Filling out the voice cast were Sebastian Cabot as Bagheera.
You have the word of Bagheera.
J. Pat O'Malley as Colonel Hottie.
And remember, an elephant never forgets.
Verna Felton as Mrs. Hottie.
Now just a minute, you pompous old windbag.
And director Wooly Reitherman's son, Bruce Reitherman, was cast as the voice of Mowgli.
I'm not as crazy as you are. Put me down.
Some people thought that perhaps Disney was taking a shortcut to creating these characters by having established voices, that is to say, established personalities, behind them. But enough time has passed now that there are so many young people who don't know anything of who those actors are, that it doesn't matter anymore. The characters now live on their own.
I still like this one better.
Bringing friendship to the screen seemed natural for two of Walt's top animators and lifelong best friends, Frank Thomas and Ollie Johnston.
It's also impressive to me that Frank and Ollie animated more than half of the picture themselves. Practically all of the scenes and sequences of Baloo and Mowgli, that wonderful relationship that develops and changes throughout the picture, was Frank and Ollie's work. I think I'm most proud of the fact that between the two of us, we got that real warm friendship to come through. And that's what we wanted. We were both striving for that. And we both did practically all of the Bear and Mowgli. And we felt would be the heart of the picture, and the warmth in a picture is what Walt always wanted us to get.
When his team was stumped for an ending to the film, Walt again stepped in, suggesting the final sequence.
He came up and improvised this ending, which is the one in the reel now where the boy meets the girl. This is what makes him go back to the man village.
She did that on purpose. Obviously.
And we all agreed that if he sees a beautiful little girl from the man village, that the eternal siren song would pull him in. And as soon as we said the eternal siren song, we said, we're going to write a song for this.
I must go to fetch the water till the day that I am grown.
and Walt Disney and all the other wonderful people were there, and we played it and showed the storyboards, and Walt said, that's the ending of the picture. That was it.
I first heard him talk about that, I thought, gee, that's tacked on. I don't know, but they gave it to me to do. And the more I fooled with it, the more I thought, God, this is a great idea, you know. And I loved the little girl, and I loved the way she would entice him. So the whole thing worked great as far as I was concerned. And it gave a wonderful ending to the picture.
Sadly, Walt Disney would not live to see this happy ending. He passed away shortly after making this final story suggestion.
Jungle Book, of course, was a very important and pivotal picture. And Walt Disney died during the making of it, so the 9 old men were on their own. And had that film failed, I think that Disney Animation might very well have gone down the tubes.
Executives are talking about phasing it out. Costs too much money. Anyway, there's no way to take over. You'd have to rebuild the whole team.
Disney executives took notice when The Jungle Book premiered and was an immediate blockbuster hit.
The management started getting on us and said, what are you guys doing sitting around? Why aren't you getting some new guys in here? Not going to be anybody to animate this next picture.
Though it was the end of an era at the Disney studio, in many ways it was a new beginning. Because of the success of The Jungle Book, the Disney studio began its first formal recruiting and training programs for a new generation of Disney animators. And a triumphant future lay ahead.
Necessities are Mother Nature's recipes that bring the bare necessities of life.